Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm A. Joe Neal, and this is Beyond Code Live, and we are going to be digging through the PayPal API. And I am going to just give me 1 second here. I didn't quite have. I got one more thing I didn't quite get done in time. So just give me 1 minute here to finish up with a little copy paste of the stream URL to the Watch Me Code channel. Okay. All right, so here I am. We're live. We're ready to go. I see we got some people on Facebook. Oh, that's interesting. And on YouTube. Hello and welcome. I'd love to know who you are, what brings you to the channel today, and we will go ahead and get started. But before we do, of course, as always, well, as sometimes, Pop Top friends, this episode is brought to you by, but not actually brought to you by, our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, Mountain Dew. Let's open focus. Okay. And, oh, there's a YouTube video we could watch. Hey, we're on YouTube. Payments REST API, API basics. Let's just open up all this stuff. And by the way, I do plan on doing a summary video of the part 0. I redubbed it part 0. It says in the placard part 1, but in the title it now says part 0. Yes, fake sponsorships and all. You're welcome. Oh, by the way, what does cheers mean to you? Because we had this Canadian said that cheers means thank you, and I thought cheers meant hello and goodbye. And yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what cheers means to different people in different parts of the world. So I'd love to know that. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so I'm going to do a summary video of that 6-hour stretch of me digging through all the financial fintech Googling to try to figure out where things are. I've got a couple people to talk to in real life first, and then I will summarize that and make that available. So what we're trying to do this for, there's two projects. There's Bliss, which this is a toy project in regards to payments, because I'm just putting some, like everybody does, putting some artificial limits on what you can do with it. And then if you pay, then the limits get raised. But instead of other tools like this that charge $5 or $10 a month, my goal is to charge $5 or $10 a year, so that you can sync notes between computers for $5 or $10 a year, rather than it just it's so simple. It just needs to be easy to do, and they're encrypted. And then the other thing this is going to be for, which is, this could be my cash cow, because I have thousands of users on this, which is not many, but it's many for me. Telebit is one. It's probably the most, maybe the second most popular useful thing I've ever created. The most popular useful thing I've ever created, because I have something that's not useful at all that's extremely popular. In fact, you have it on your computer, I can pretty much guarantee, no matter who you are. This is actually useful, and Greenlock is another thing, but I'm not really clear on how to monetize that yet. But the monetization strategy, there's lots of different ways to do it. This is access your devices, share your stuff. It allows you to have a secure HTTP connection across behind firewalls and all that stuff. So anyway, these are the things that I'm considering adding payments to. And actually there's one other thing, which I won't open up the tab for it, but it's rather, I do some GameCube homebrew stuff, and the way that most people do is you add the items to your cart, and then you check out, and then you end up paying shipping for every item. And so I instead want to allow that you can select all the items, and you just pay for the box that it ships in. Kind of a flat rate thing where you pick what you want. So I've got a couple of different ways that I plan on using PayPal. And the first thing that I want to figure out, though, is the recurring payments. So I'm just going to dig through here. Let's see. Oh, it looks like this is actually all opening up. No, not all opening up to the same thing, but these are the same thing. I'm going to close those out now. And we're just going to go through and we're going to figure it out. So here we are. First thing I need is probably to figure out if I have an account. So I'm going to go ahead and click log into dashboard. I'm going to do that on the other screen here. I'm going to log in with my business account and let's see what happens. Well, that's cool. They do the smart thing that everybody should do, is they let you switch between Live and Sandbox, and then as you explore the API, it actually gives you the ability to, I'm guessing if I were to go, well, I'm going to do this on the other screen first, but I'm guessing if I click on API calls, that it's going to show actual API calls using my Sandbox stuff. So I'm going to click over here on the other screen just to make sure this actually doesn't look useful at all. Sandbox accounts, API calls, my account. Let's see. This is really looks much more high level. Huh. Oh, it's got a random credit card generator. Generate random credit cards for testing purposes. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. Negative testing. That's cool. So that you can test errors. I'm really, really confused here. I think I can bring this over. Name value pair and SOAP. Name value pair. I'm guessing that just means URL encoded value pairs. I don't know. Authorization Protocol. So I'm pretty sure this is either... okay. I don't know what that is all about. Capture. Okay, so this, I don't think this is the right thing. Sandbox accounts. Okay, I'm not really clear on what this is, but I think that might have taken me down the wrong path. I think this is the right path to go down. So let's see, get credentials, log into developer dashboard with your PayPal account. I'm going to go do that on the other screen here. Okay, it did log me in. I guess default application. This is interesting. So they acquired Braintree a long time ago. I think I remember that. I think it was back around the same time that they acquired Venmo. Although they might have already done it by the time I found out about Braintree. Okay, test your PayPal Express checkout integration using the Braintree SDK. Ready to go live. 5 Braintree Sandbox access tokens. What? You can link a maximum of 5 Sandbox access tokens to your PayPal account. You can only generate 1 access token for each PayPal Sandbox account. Okay, whatever. So I've got default application. Again, I'm just going to move over here and see what happens when I click view details. Okay, Sandbox account, client ID, secret. Okay, so it's not showing the secret. This is good, so I can show this to you. Want to accept payments. Log in with PayPal. That's interesting. Allow your customers to log in with PayPal. Sure, that would be cool to do. Apple Pay. That would be cool to do too. All right, webhooks. We'll definitely want to notify on webhooks. So let's give this a name. I'm just going to call it root. And I don't know. This says Sandbox account, client ID, secret. I'm assuming that's all Sandbox API credentials, Sandbox app. Yeah. So this is all stuff that's safe enough for me to show on the stream. Yeah, I'm going to call it root. And I'm going to go ahead and, I know I'm going to need these details. So let me go ahead and go into projects, root, and I'm going to call this PayPal demo. That's what we'll call it. Let's go ahead and do a little git init, although, probably should have, this is one of those things. I need to have a template repository for just a blank project that I don't know what I'm doing. I know what language. Well, I'm gonna try this out in Node first because it's just gonna be a little easier when this goes into production. I'd like to have it in Go instead, and I think that would be good to do some Go coding on the channel. But to get this up on the first pass, since I've already got some stuff up in Node, and that's what I'm using at work predominantly right now, I'm probably just gonna do this in Node. Anyway, let me go back. Let's see what's another. Is Bliss in here? Yeah, we got Bliss in here, Bliss API. So I'm going to copy over the JSent RC. I'm going to copy over the prettier RC. I'm going to copy over the prettier ignore. Let's see, are there any other dot files I should copy over from here? I don't think so. Dot get ignore maybe? Yeah, let's copy over the get ignore. I want to copy that over. And then we need to have our example.env, and we'll probably have what PayPal app ID, PayPal, what is it, client ID and client secret. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. Let's see. I guess PayPal account email. I don't know. That's what this looks like. All right. And then I'm going to put this one in another file. I'm going to call it, okay, so first of all, a couple of things. Oh, okay. Huh. We'll just put X's here for this because I'm going to move the other one out into, okay, and this is just a big, long, yeah. I like to match the length on the example keys because the more you can do to match reality, the better, right? So what did I just do wrong? Okay, I've got that there, and then we'll see what the secret is in just a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out because those are the real ones. We're going to put that, the real Sandbox ones. I'm going to put that in .env and .env.secret. And then just for the funsies over here, I'm gonna pull this over and then show the secret because I doubt that this secret has anything super interesting about it. It has a date created. It looks pretty long, just like the ID. It has an action to disable. When you generate a new secret, you still maintain the original secret. Okay, so we're going to do this one here. And then I'm going to put this in the example. And let me just exit. Oh, interesting, huh? Oh, it's probably not longer. It's probably the same size, but the name of the variable is longer. The PayPal client ID is a few characters shorter than PayPal secret. Okay, so let me bring this back over. So there we are. That we've got our example.env is getting started. And then what do I want to have in here? Shell check disable equals 20 something something something. Let's see. Web install.dev /shell check. And I am going to try to keep my eye over here to watch for comments that are coming in. Hello to those of you that are joining in. Nice to have you. Feel free to tell me where you are, where you're from, what you do, yada, 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 yada. Okay, and I do need to SC. I needed to have this one memorized because I need to use it all the time. Okay, 2, 3, 4. That should not be hard to memorize, but with a 0 in the middle. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy this. Well, yeah. .env. Let's put that up top there. Okay. Why is shell check not running? Maybe it's because I didn't have a hash up top. Because normally it runs. Yeah, okay. And it gives me complaints and it says, oh, you don't have these things. Okay, so we've got our keys. Goodness knows what we do with it. And I'll also, let's see, I can generate a new secret and I keep my old secret. Cool. Oh, but either it's a all or nothing type of deal. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. Give me just 1 second. Ooh. I'm just going to use inspect element magic to get rid of it. Hidden. There we go. Boom. So just so you can see as well. Whoop. Oh, I didn't mean to make that wider. Did I make that wider? I must have made it wider. You didn't make it wider, right? Must have been me then. Okay, so see, I just did a little inspect element magic to make that one hidden. And then here's what the secret area looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this one. And then hopefully it doesn't. Oh, and then it showed the other one. So now I got to delete that one too. Bah humbug. Okay, that's okay. I got my new one that I just generated. Okay, now I'm going to delete the old one, and then I'm going to hide these again. Boop. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to take this over here, and I'm going to open up the secrets file, and I'm going to put the new secret in. Oh, bless me. Again, it shouldn't matter because I don't think you're going to get access to anything in my account through the Sandbox secret, but just in case. Just good practice, you know. All right, so here we are. Let's bring this back on over. Oh, cool. So return URL. Allow up to 3 hours for the change to take effect. Return URL. Users are redirected to this URL after a live transaction. Shouldn't we set that in the call? Okay, accept payments, advanced options, native checkout, vault, billing agreements, scheduled payments, so we can do recurring payments, so we're kind of in the right place here, invoicing. So PayPal really does include a full suite of things in here. Eventually I do want to have the login with PayPal. I think that'll be cool. And then this one, I don't think that we can enable this. Yeah, because you have to add an iOS certificate. I'm not going to be doing that right now. And then let's see, what is add webhook? What does that give us? Cool. So yeah, whoa, goodness day. That's a lot of webhooks, but we definitely need them. Okay, you are responsible for the safety and security of data that you transmit through webhooks. So I wonder if that means that the token for the webhook needs to be in the URL itself. I wonder if they don't do signing, which would be kind of weird, but yeah, you know, whatever. Not everybody signs their URL. Yeah, I would just put everything there. Do we have examples of what this looks like? No, we don't. Okay. All right, let's go down to my account and let me pull this on the other screen just in case it has important details on it. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything too important here. PayPal payments, PayPal here. Just what is enabled. Okay, and I think I'm signed in with my business account. I'm going to check and see because it says my name rather than my business name. So I'm just going to... I hate it when you can't right click or you can't control click to... I hate it when... Lots of things. But if it looks like a link, it should act like a link. So this looks like a link, so I should be able to right click, open a new tab, right? But it's not letting me do that. Anyway, I'm just going to check and make sure. Now it's not working at all. Come on. Dashboard. My account. Oh, okay. It's also not letting me know that that's already selected. I thought that was going to take me to some sort of PayPal information. Okay, accounts. Let's see what we got. Okay, we've got the test account name. Well, that's interesting. 2 Sandbox accounts. Is this even... what? Authenticate. All right, notifications. I don't know where. I hope this is the right place. API calls. Okay, IPN simulator. What is this? Instant payment notification. Oh, interesting. Good. And we already did webhook events. So maybe I need to go to documentation. What am I at right now? Am I under tools? I don't know. There's nothing in the UI indicating where I am in this. Well, there is, at least this is highlighted. So I know that this thing on the right refers to this thing on the left. Okay, web. We've already seen this webhook simulator. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Okay, and then I want to see what live API calls is. Okay, there's nothing there. It's just empty history. Okay, so that doesn't really do much for me. Oops. Okay, so I'm just opening it up. I'll bring this back over in just a second. Good. Okay, I can show you all of this. Profile settings. Okay, good. Yes, this is my business account. For some reason, it's just showing my first name. Okay, so this is the docs page. This is the API page. This is the tools page. Is that what we were just in? Nope. I have no idea what we were just on. That was developer. That was the developer page. So if we, oh, okay. So if we click here, this is, no. I don't know. Do I just, huh, that's weird. So I don't know what, this is dashboard, maybe? Is it dashboard? What is it? Okay, so I have no idea what quote unquote product this is. Also, it renamed it back to default application. It didn't like me changing the name of that, I guess. Okay, so let's go to docs here. I'm really only worried about, I don't know, ways to pay. I guess, I don't know. Getting started, SD business, enterprise, PayPal here, accept and online payments, I think. This is a little confusing, actually. There's too many different products here. I want to be able to have a person click a button and get paid. I don't know. There's way, way, way too many products here. I don't know what to make of this. End-to-end payment solution. Let's look at SDK. Node checkout. Okay, maybe this is it. Okay, so we turned off the feature of GitHub issues. It is not mandatory to fork this repository. Well, I mean, I would imagine we just npm install, right? Why are they saying you refer to the checkout server SDK? Isn't that what just brought me here? Oh, man. I just want a button. I just want a button. Oh, there's just too much information here. I want the process of, to be clear, let me go to Figma here. Whoop, bless me. I mean, I guess I don't know exactly what I want. Because I don't, yeah, get out of my way. Okay, web page. Web page has product. Product has, well, let's give this a different color. There we go, product. Product has, whoa, that was a bit more than what I was expecting. Button that says, you know, buy now. There we go. So, and then I want it to go to PayPal. So I'm looking for the simple setup of, you know, redirects to PayPal. PayPal is going to be yellow in this example, or blue. I guess PayPal's blue. You know, so it goes to PayPal site and they do some stuff and then it redirects them back. That's what I was expecting to do with PayPal. I'm looking for the Pay with PayPal button. So maybe I should just Google Pay with PayPal button, because this is just way, way, way too much. This looks as though they are handling every single possible use case. Okay, easy and secure way to accept online payments. I'm going to take a look at this. But what the heck is the difference between that and that? It's just, what? And what's the difference between... Yeah, I don't want marketing solutions. I don't want the Payflow gateway. I don't think I really want the credit cards aspect, because I plan to do that. I've got that figured out with the NMI software. So, oh, hey, thanks for joining in. Feel free to tell me who you are, where you're from, what brings you here. So I'm just trying to figure this out. This PayPal stuff looks way more complex than I thought, because this is the list of all their payment products. The list goes on and on and on. I just want to know, how do I construct a button that I can say, I want the button, I click Pay with PayPal, and then it goes over to PayPal and it says, hey, here's what you ordered. This is how much it's going to cost you every year or every month or one time. They click OK, and then it goes back and it says order completed. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Maybe this is the right thing. Maybe I just need to plug in some code and see what happens. Maybe that's what we should try. So purchase units, intent is capture. But wait a minute. Client ID, client secret, environment. Client execute. Oh, okay, cool. This may be exactly what I was looking for. We're gonna try this out. We're gonna create. You know what I'm gonna do? I've got a template project It's github.com/coolaj6, I think is where I put it. And then I think it's called, yeah, it's node docker seed, but that's not really the right name for it because it does other stuff. It just, oh, and I need, oh gosh, I need to update the cores on this is wrong, isn't it? Yeah, that one's using host instead of origin. I just created this 26 days ago apparently, but this is just an express. So we're gonna do this. First of all, this should be a template repo. Template repository. Yes. And then I guess we don't have to click save buttons anymore. That's so 90s. Pfft, clicking the save button. What era are you from, AJ? Okay, use this template. And then we're gonna call this PayPal demo. And then I'll go ahead and make it public, and then I'll post the thing in the chat in case anybody wants it. Oh, and I'm gonna rename it to Node PayPal Demo or PayPal Node Demo. Okay, let's do that. Cool, and I'll paste it here for anybody who wants to check it out now or later. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clone it. And then I'll copy over the few things that I do have in here. So I'm just going to get rid of the .git. And then of this stuff, I'll just bring it over and we'll see. So PayPal demo 1, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm about to get rid of it. Node. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter anyway because this one's called Node PayPal demo. Okay, cool. So PayPal demo 1 and here, and what do we got? Okay, cool. I do need to update a number of things here. All right. So here's the meaty stuff down here. And I'll go ahead and copy all of this into my actual .env right here. Oh, and I don't actually want to use React Router. And I don't need to worry about that, I don't think. Whatever. We'll just leave it in there for now. So localhost 3080. Okay, cool. So now if I go into app.js, I should be able to go down and add, we'll just add a debug endpoint here. PayPal debug, and then let's set up this PayPal stuff. Whoops, let me go back. Okay. Let's see what we get. Order ID. Capture order. This is so dumb. I hate this stuff. Sorry, well, one, they didn't use Prettier on this. Or maybe they did. Maybe it's years old. Yeah, 3 years old. So the older version of Prettier. But Just put the name of the function in the function. Don't do this weird variable declaration for functions. Creating and capturing an order. Okay, cool. Here's a sample. Copy and paste the link above. Creating an order. Create an order. Oh, and this is another thing that's kind of silly. All this ceremony around, it's just a single function. Come on, y'all. Just put it in one file so I don't have to go back and forth between a bunch of different files to figure out what's going on, you know? See, and then they've got a common folder and way to enterprise it up. Okay, so we're gonna install PayPal Checkout Server SDK. Hopefully this works out and is the right thing, but I think it's gonna be easier just to build a little bit of sample code and start to get familiar with this than it is to make sure that this is the right API. And because the documentation it's probably intended for people that have, most people that use the documentation are people that have been through the documentation before. Okay. So we've got the PayPal checkout is in there. And, well, maybe what I'll actually do is handle this up at the top level. And instead of doing list endpoints, I'll do server dot get slash, and we'll just put in here, whoops. We'll create an order. I think this might work out perfectly for what I want. Okay, cancel URL, brand name. Interesting though. Yeah, we'll get here. We'll do a little demo. I think this is going to work great. I think I'm in the right place. Okay, create order. Checkout node SDK. Such strange names for things. Whatever. Ah, noobs. Absolute noobs. They're doing a try-catch around something that they actually need to throw an error, because if they don't throw the error, then this goes through, and yeah, whatever. So this is pretty good, though. Request. Return equals representation. What does that even mean? I'm curious about that now. API requests. Return equals. No. Representation. Can I search? Representation. On the server, on the server, on the server. Set up transaction, capture. Let me just, I hate it when I control click and it refreshes the page rather than takes me to a new page. Whatever. There is, what? The search showed that, and that's not what... All right, whatever. Let me go back here. Prefer. So what is the prefer header? Maybe I can figure that out from... Can I go to search and say prefer? Prefer. Oh, whatever. Request. Headers. Request body. Build request body. Holy moly. Items. Oh, okay, cool. It's fair enough. Huh, interesting. So what if I don't include shipping because I want PayPal to give the person's shipping address? Okay, request away. Man, this is the problem with generated code. I'm guessing it might be generated code because they probably want to try to keep their API, or maybe it's just they're trying to keep their API in sync across C# and .NET and Java and PHP. You end up with all these factories. This looks very Java-esque. First, we've already created a request, but then we're going to create a PayPal client.client. The PayPal client already came from, excuse me. Let me take a look at what they have here. Where's PayPal client? Samples, and then common, and then PayPal client. They might just be doing it that way. Not sure why they'd be doing it that way. Client and with the environment, that just, yeah. Huh, interesting. Why would they capitalize things here? Whatever. Okay, but this just factory functions on factory functions on factory functions. Oh my. That's all right. Okay, so we're going to put this stuff in here. Let's see. Well, let's do PP. Okay, where was my SDK stuff here? Okay. That is such a terrible name. All right, let's call this PayPal. PayPal.core. Oh. There we go. Okay. And I'll do this bit with pp.environment, PayPal client ID, PayPal secret, sure. We'll do this just to get it up and working. This looks good enough. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Okay, that makes sense. I like that. I like that little bit of extra security layering there. I give them props for that. That there's a, you either call live environment or you call sandbox environment. It's just an extra measure of security, and I guess it doesn't really matter because you're either going to have your sandbox credentials or your live credentials in the .env file, but all the same, I think with things that have a security requirement similar to payments, it doesn't make it much more difficult. It does make it more clear to the reader. I approve. And then this client thing, it's funny that they, in their SDK, they have helper functions around their SDK. They should have, what they should have is, instead of having this @PayPal/checkout server SDK, it should have @PayPal checkout. And then the @PayPal checkout should be this example code that's the simplified code that does what you actually need. So that you don't have to wrap their either generated or mirrored SDK. Okay, so where are we at then? Nowhere yet. We're still nowhere. Okay, that's the create order. This is the, why they included, this is one line and they put it in a separate file. It just makes it difficult to read the code and understand what's going on. Okay, so, and I'm not going to call this request because that's an overloaded term. Let's call it order or rec. Or ppRec. I don't know. Order. I think order's good. What do y'all think? Order? All right, so we've got our order. Well, it is, okay, I'm going to call it rec because it actually is let's call it order rec. Order rec or just rec. It's just rec. I wonder what this looks like. To do. Where's the documentation for this return equals? Okay, so then I kind of don't want to call it just rec though, because rec is what I use either when it's JSON or when it's a request object that I'm familiar with. This is some sort of proprietary PayPal thing. Okay, the build request body, this is kind of big. So we'll see if we just get anything at all, and then we'll figure out the nuanced details with recurring payments. And I wonder, with a lot of these, what you end up having to do is, well, with some of these, I shouldn't say a lot of these, I don't know how they all work, but with some of these, what you end up having to do is have your own code has to have its timer set up to go make You flag when you create the order, you flag it as recurring, and then in say 30 days or a year or whatever it is, your code calls out to the API again and then causes it to recur. With some of them, you get the webhook that it did recur. I think. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll just be honest. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, intent is capture application context. So let's say the return URL is, I'm going to say, taken from let's make this localhost 3080. And if that doesn't work, I'll just throw it up on the dev server and then use whatever domain. paypaldemo.rootprojects.org. Root. Okay. Landing page, billing, shipping preference, set provided address, user action. So this is another problem with this, is I don't know which of these are example values and which of them are actual values. Some of them it's clear they're example values because they said example, but for example, landing page, I don't know what this means. I don't know what set provided address means, and maybe we can figure that out. Purchase units, reference ID. I wonder if that's some sort of joke. PUHF. Puff. Huh. Used as an action word to describe anything that shows impact. Yeah, a lot of times there's little bits of humor or joke in IDs. I'm gonna look at this over on the other screen in case it has obscene. We are looking at Urban Dictionary after all. That actually isn't very. Black Ops. Poo-poo platter. No, that doesn't make any sense. Puff. Let's see another potential. Okay, that's just garbage. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it was random. Maybe it means something. Anyway, purchase units, customer ID, soft descriptor. I'm going to guess that customer ID should be some sort of reference to the customer in our own system. So I'm going to guess that this gets replaced with the user ID. The user ID. Soft descriptor. I don't know. Reference ID. Who knows? I'm just going to change this to XYZL. XYZXL. There we go. I'm guessing this is arbitrary for our own records. Shown to the user. We'll find out what some of this stuff is momentarily. Currency code, value. Oh, that's interesting that it has a value. Oh, okay. It means what is it all when it's summed together? Does this go? This goes over Unity. Oh, because there's a discount. Okay. So 220 shipping discount. Is there anything to indicate item total? Huh. I don't see anything here to indicate what would be a discount and what wouldn't be a discount. I wonder what happens if I say, or maybe we could see this in the documentation. If we do a search, is there a discount? Discount subscription price. Application context. User action. Okay, this might be what the button is called. Shipping preference. Get from file. Payment method. Payer selected PayPal. And I don't really care. Let's see. Normal subscription is $10. Customer needs $20. Merchant gives customer a discount rate of 8. Whoa! Okay, that is odd. I don't know if I noticed this before. Yeah, this is way odd. So check this out. These numbers, rather than being given as integers, are being given as floats. That is very strange. But maybe it's because it's only for the UI anyway. I don't know. It's weird. Normally when you do money in integers because of the 0.1 plus 0.2 problem, which in case you're not familiar with it, 0.1 plus 0.2 problem is in every programming language, if you add 0.1 plus 0.2, you get not 0.3. And this is just because the way that computers do floating point math. Computers are not good with math in general. They are good with integers. And they can do any type of math probably quicker than you can, but processors are not well suited for floating point. Well, they are because they've been optimized for it, but it's a process. Integers are a lot easier to work with. And arbitrary precision, there are maybe some languages that work with arbitrary precision by default, but most languages have some sort of arbitrary precision library or functionality. For example, JavaScript now has big ints. Arbitrary precision meaning that the number can be any number of digits long. Anyway, user action, shipping preference. I don't know what this means. Pricing scheme, value, billing cycle, sequence, total billing cycles, pricing scheme, fixed price. So 8. Normal subscription is 10. What does this mean? Quantity is 20. So what is this saying? I don't really get what this is saying. Because these things look arbitrary. What I'd like to know is where's the list that shows here are all the possible options and what they mean. So it's great. They've got lots of examples. That's absolutely wonderful. But it'd be really nice to, because also you're getting the runaround here. Because you go to one SDK or this, that, or the other, and then it redirects you somewhere else. Okay, so the REST documentation is the documentation that looks... here we go. REST documentation. This is the good stuff. All right, noted. README. Okay, the good documentation. is the REST API for PayPal, aka PayPal checkout. All right, I'm just going to put that note in there for now. Okay. I wonder if here we can find out shipping preference. Okay, get from file. Cool. Cool. Get from file from PayPal. No shipping. Duh. Set provided address from merchant, meaning you, selectable from okay, and I wonder what's all this stuff with landing page. We don't, that's interesting. That one's not in here. Okay. And what was that? Return equals representation? Oh no. Hate OAuth links. Can't believe that PayPal's promoting hate. The web is hate. Hate-OAuth. So this is different than, okay, is a constraint of REST. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So it's just saying that you're including links inside of, okay, inside of the response. So if you want to see more, got it. Okay. Got it. Now, which one is, do they say what's the default for these things? All right, so this has been answered now. Return equals minimal. Use links to describe. Link to full descriptions. Return equals representation. Whoops. Is complete JSON. see here. Cool, cool. Now I know what that's about. All right, and I'm going to guess category is something physical goods. Common object definitions. Ooh. Subscriptions overview. I don't know if I want to go back here. Ah. Great. This is what I want. In fact, I'm going to save this because who knows if they're going to update to that. Oh no, it's an SVG. Ah, foiled again. Well, I know how to turn an SVG into not an SVG. Meet my handy dandy screenshot tool. Take that, SVG. Oh no! Not the screenshot tool! And I would have remained uncapturable if it weren't for you pesky kids. Not the gumdrop buttons. Okay, so for my own sanity, I am going to upload this. First, I'm going to throw it in my downloads folder. And we're going to call it PayPal Checkout API Flow. And I'm going to upload this to Imgur. Actually, I wonder if maybe, I'm going to try this real quick. I'm going to see if I capture it on another screen, if I get it in high resolution, since it is an SVG and all. Wonder if I expand the size. No, it doesn't look like it's doing any different. Well, maybe it is a little bit. If it seems that if I zoom in using pinch and zoom, I am getting a higher resolution image. It is scaling the resolution of the image to the size of my zoom. Good old SVG. Okay, let's bring this back over here then. I guess we can just bring it back into where it was, right there. Okay, let me go ahead and click the new post button. And then, there we go. Sorry, I'm on my other screen. I am just cropping the high res output here. All right. Whoop. Okay, there we go. Crop, and then downloads, PayPal Checkout API Flow. High DPI, that's what I'm going to call it, to distinguish it from the other one. And then, where's my, there we go. Downloads, PayPal, high DPI, done. Cool. So now I can reference this in the README. This is important. They should have put this. They should put this image in every SDK. And the the READMEs on npm, etc. And I really don't care about direct card flow versus. All right, cool. This is good. This is good, good, good. All right, I'll learn more about these things as we go, but I'm going to get back to the code so I can have something demonstrable. But this right here is the perfect, especially in documentation, nonetheless. This is the perfect example of a little copying is better than a little dependency. Seriously, seriously. You're going to create a dependency on a one-line function so that people... And why in the world call this checkout node.js SDK? PayPal checkout. That's what it is. Checkout node.js SDK. That's whatever. Whatever. Life goes on. Okay, so I got too many pages open with too many different things here. I do want to figure out the category stuff. Okay. The label for the button probably constrained. I'm guessing by the fact that this is continue, I'm guessing that this is representative of a constant, that there's a continue button, and that's what this representative of. I'm also guessing that this billing being all caps, I think that everything that's all caps is representative of a constant. I'm gonna note that real quick. Whoops. Just note. Just about everything in the PayPal SDK that uses all caps is an enum. Is a constant / enum representing an option you can an option you can pick from a limited number of options. That's I'm not going to wordsmith that right now. Good enough. Okay, reference ID. I think that's going to be arbitrary, especially considering that it didn't show up in any Google searches, which is kind of surprising. Seems that the code would. Reference ID. Come on. Bah. What's the difference between APIs and SDKs? APIs would be the website itself. That seems... Software development kit versus application programmable interface. It seems that an SDK is for connecting with an API in a given specific programming language, right? Okay, let's go back to this. I'm sure I can. It just would be nice if they had a reference, just a handy reference. SDK Quick Start? Whatever, I'm in the weeds, but that's how I learn. Okay, so we're going to find out what all this means. Okay, so we're responsible for figuring out category. Yeah, I'm guessing it's physical goods or digital goods or maybe services or something of that nature. Okay, method. I'm going to put XXX X because I'm thinking that this is what's going to show up because that's not in all caps with underscores. Full name, John Doe. Yeah. I'm guessing the address doesn't matter. I'm going to say Sesame Street. I forget where Sesame Street is. I think it's in New York. Okay, so we create an order request. We build a request body. And then what do we do with it? This, okay, it's down here. And then we execute it. But it's not, I don't think it's an HTTP response. I think it's a PayPal response. So, and then where do we have client? Okay, I just can't bear to do it. PayPal client. Where'd it at? Where'd it go? Oh, interesting. It's interesting that they would not make PayPal either. Yeah, whatever. I guess it works. If I was going to lowercase it, I'd lowercase pay and pal, but... Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted. What am I trying to do? This one? This one. Okay. So let's pb client equals this and execute. And this is really an order request. I don't know. See, then we need to do a .catch. And then I guess we could just give it next. Okay. Why doesn't it like this one? Rec has already been declared. Yes, of course. Order rec. There we go. Let's call it order rec. Okay, and the response here is what's going to have all the links, if I'm not mistaken. I need to go one layer higher up. Copy and paste the above links in the browser. Okay, let's see how well we do. And then I think the return URL might need to be modified here. Return URL, cancel URL. So return and cancel. Boodaloop, boodaloop. I suppose we could do... I don't want to do that. We're just going to let that be for right now. All right, but with our get, once we have our response, what we're going to do is the thing that I never, ever, 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 ever do. So we're going to build out some HTML. Gross amount. It is a gross amount. It's gross. To toggle print the whole body, comment or uncomment the line below. Okay, sure. So we're going to do res.write. And then we're going to do BR and message. A ref equals sure, why not? And then after all this, we can do res.end. And we could do res.set header content type text/HTML char set equals UTF-8. I think it's a semicolon there, and then is it a space? I think, but then it's a comma if you wanted to put multiple, which you wouldn't do for content type. Okay, let's see what happens here. All right, let's go to our lovely localhost 3080. Oh no! pp.client is not a function. Really? All right, let's go take a look at this again then. So this is client. Okay, that did seem to stutter a little too much, so maybe it is this. All right, let's try again. Internal server error. Amazeballs. Okay. Let's just go ahead and wrap all this for right now. And then I guess we can move this to here for the time being. Okay, let's try it again. We're getting close. Invalid client. Client authentication failed. There we go. Whoops. Let's run this again. And ba-ba-da-da. Okay, let's see what these things look like. All right, that does nothing. So this one is... Oh, cool. Nice, I like this. So they do dub for what the user goes to and API for what you go to. Oh, nice. Some of your info isn't correct. Please try again. What? I guess maybe I have to log in with a fake user, which would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. Oh, cool. So it comes with a token. That's good to know. Will have token equals appended. All right, getting closer. So let's see. PayPal create Sandbox user. Configure Sandbox accounts. Set up PayPal developer site account. Create REST application. Create Sandbox account to use. Developer dashboard. Okay. A merchant test account is automatically created for you. Okay, dashboard. Let me log into dashboard because I guess I tried to log into PayPal and now it's upset at me. Okay, dashboard, Sandbox accounts. Business. Okay, maybe. I don't really quite understand this, but I think these are the accounts that I can use. So let's do view/edit account. Good old John Doe. Nice. Oh, cool. So you can create accounts. I don't know what PayPal Easy is. Oh, PayPal Credit. Yeah, I probably don't need to worry about that. Review Sandbox payments before they are completed. Sure. I don't know what that means. Maybe we'll try it with it off first, and then we'll try it with it on. Okay, so this is cool. All right, so let's go back to the README and say Sandbox accounts are available. For creating fake purchases are available at are available at can be managed at are managed at whatever, no wordsmithing. Cool. So I'm going to grab this. So here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to say example.env. I'm going to say PayPal Sandbox email equals and PayPal Sandbox password equals. So that's not what we need here. I don't know about the facilitator thing it was mentioning. I'm not going to worry about it. .env. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to update the server where it's doing a res.write. I'm just going to put out res.write. Let's put a little, oh, this is so bad. Please don't tell anyone I did this. Don't tell my friends. Okay. So what do we have? Input value equals type equals, what is this, email? And the value is process.env.paypal sandbox email. And then this one is password. Well, actually, I just want it to be text. This is great. Okay, it took a little bit to get in here because they've got so many products that they're offering, but I think I've got the hang of it. I think this is going to work out, and I think I'm going to be really happy with it. And I'll figure out the distinctions between the two different types of things. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. Between the subscriptions and the one-offs. Okay. Let's get to it. Localhost. Don't really ever like that, actually. And then what we do here, style equals width 90%. Let's try that. See how that works. Cool. All right. So also one thing I should do here is, where's that href at? And then the next thing I'm going to do is I need to figure out where the PayPal button comes from, because I want to use the official PayPal button and have it say whatever it says. Subscribe, purchase, pay now, etc. So we'll open up this one and let's put that in there. And let's put that in there. And then I'll tell this to just save those credentials, I suppose. Heyo. You are logging into the account of the seller for this purchase. Change your login information and try again. Okay. Maybe I do personal. Let's see how that fares. Oh, that was not what I wanted. There we are. Okay. Oh, whoops. Let's go over here. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, so let's see if we can update the shipping on this one. Let's go with get from file and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this. Sweet. That's awesome. Now, what the heck do I do with that information? I'm guessing I use that in one of the other URLs. So cannot get. Okay. So what if we do oh, that's me. What if we do this? Nope. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. Whoa, not what I wanted to do. Bye. All right, so we're halfway there at least. Well, maybe not halfway, maybe a quarter. Let's see. All right, we created the order. And then what? Okay, now we create the order, then we have to capture the order. And I don't know how we get the order ID. Response result.id. Okay, did we log out the order ID? I don't think I did. Okay, let's do this again and we'll log out the order ID. I think that there's payer ID and there's token. Console.log. Whoops. Order ID. So create order. So where we get the links. So response dot result dot ID, I think. And, to do, handle some errors. Okay, so my guess is that we're going to have to maintain some state on our side, associate the PayPal order ID with our order ID for the customer. But I would like to see, I wonder if I can get into the Sandbox account and see what the orders look like. Or if I get an email to my real account. Let me check my email. I don't think I see anything coming in from PayPal. I do have a message that says SOS. Okay. That's not really an SOS. It's not a high priority. I hate it when people put things in email subjects that signify what I should prioritize it as. Really, what they should let me know is what it is, and then I'll know whether or not to prioritize it. Because now I opened it because it looked like it was urgent, but it's not. And so now I'm not going to respond because I'm going to totally forget about it. Whereas if it didn't look urgent, I would have waited until it was the appropriate time that I could have responded. Okay. But there is one other thing I need to check real quick. Oh, whoops. I didn't join in for a company update that I was going to join in for. Forgot about it. Okay, anyway. Let's get back to business and defeat the Huns. There was a way somewhere here I saw earlier that I could check the content. I think it was on this top one. Okay, let's refresh here. Oh, it's still not logged in. Okay. Now I'm back at the Sandbox. Great. And what I want to see is notifications. Maybe. I don't see any notifications. API calls. Okay, this one, most recent is up top, and no information. Okay. View notifications for this account. Well, how do I use the token that it gave me? That's what I really want to know. Well, maybe I'll just keep looking at the code, and there's probably an example with it. It probably requires the token. Let's see, capture order, order ID. All right, let me go over to capture order, create order. So I wonder what this run all function is. This just requires both? Oh, no. Oh, okay. Capture order, refund order. So I'm wondering, what is the very first part that it referred to? Let me go back here and see if I can find it. Yeah. Product and plans API. Billing plans. I don't know what this means. Huh. So I think I might first integrate this into the GameCube homebrew site, because that's the one that I think, well, no, I should definitely integrate it first into Bliss, because that's what I've been working on. That's what I'm closest to. Well, I already take orders off of GameCube homebrew, but the way that it works is people email me. So having this figured out would be really cool. It would also be neat. I'm assuming there's probably some way to do this just with buttons. And this seems not bad at all. But I'd kind of be surprised that there's not a way to do the same thing just with a button on PayPal to say, hey, here's this bunch of stuff coming from. I guess they want the client secret. Well, the client secret wouldn't make any difference. Somebody can make a bogus request. I don't know. Anyway, it's very, very light in terms of what this is actually doing. Oh, here's the capture the order. Oh, yeah, this example is much better. Except that definitely should be a capital P because this is a package. PayPal is not an instance. It is a package. Anyway, PayPal checkout.orders.capture. Request body doesn't need anything. Client execute. Okay. All right, and this is going to be the address that was given to me, and this is the number of units and all the stuff about it. Okay. And I guess maybe, let's see, was this homepage? Oh, okay, it's just that thing. Because I wonder what these samples. I wonder if when you, okay, I'm going a little bit on a tangent here, but one thing that I want to do for really low ticket items is actually authorize at a higher price. So it's going to cost you $10 a year. You can authorize that transaction at $100, and this gives you a greater security that it is not just a junk card. Because if people create junk cards or gift cards, things of that nature, they might only have $10 or $15 on them. And so there's a high likelihood if somebody has a junk credit card, there's a high likelihood that they are a bad actor. So if you authorize for $100, then you can capture only the 10, but have a higher degree of assurance that it's a real credit card, not a gift card or some such. So let's see what we have here for samples. Capture intent examples, authorization examples. What was the code I was looking at here? Samples, capture intent examples, what? Run all. Oh, okay, so run all is what I want to look at for this one too, probably. Create the order, but then, okay. So you can authorize the order and then capture the order. I wonder why you'd want to split this up in this way. Typically, when you do an auth and a capture, it's for something where you're not entirely sure what the user's experience is going to be or how much they're going to pay. So a hotel, a gas station, if they pull up for gas and you do an authorization check on their card for $50, then you know that they can pump $50 worth of gas. If they come to the hotel and you do an authorization for $300, then you know that they are good for the $300 stay. But then when you do the capture later on, after the person's pumped the gas, maybe you capture $40 or you capture $60 or you capture for incidentals or something at the hotel. So this is interesting because it gives you an order ID and you authorize the order. I wonder if that's because I'm not looking at what this is actually doing. So here, do we have a building the order? Authorization has what? What was this saying? PayPal client request orders authorize request order ID create order, and this is the one that has the build order. Yeah, intent is to authorize. I wonder why you would. Okay, this sample function we could use to create a minimum required fields. It uses JSON body. Okay, so there's create order. What about the capture in this case? Yeah, I don't know why they do an auth and capture that way then. I'd like to look up their documentation. Why would you do an auth and capture? Actually, I'm going to take a little side quest and ask that question to the internets. PayPal checkout API authorize before capture. Let's say why authorize before capture. Oh, maybe it's because the situation where you want to authorize them for some purchase, but you're not necessarily ready to ship. So say you always show something's in stock, but it might not be in stock. Maybe you'd authorize first, create the order, go through the process, but then only do the capture when you actually ship it. And then do a cancel otherwise. It seems 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, all of these links on the top of Google here are telling me this is all legacy. Well, that's fine. I just want to know why. Authorization places hold on funds for up to 29 days. Capture funds within 3 days. This can be useful for merchants who have delayed order fulfillment process. Also enables merchants to change the original amount. Okay. You can capture less than the original or the full original authorized amount. You can also capture 100%, 115% of, or $75 more than the original amount, whichever is less. Okay, I'm going to put a little note on the auth and capture here in the README for myself. Okay. I don't think I need to use that. But I'm just going to toss this in here anyway. Okay. But I don't know how you would change. So this says it's legacy. So what's the non-legacy way to do it? Or is the non-legacy way that you just don't do that anymore? Capture transaction. Huh, interesting. Capture and authorization. Okay. Got to get the door there. Somebody knocked at the door. Let me see what that's about. down in the towards the front door. There's a door by the front door. You can just holler if you need me, but I'm down here. Okay. So that's somebody come to fix up the dryer. Okay. Call to PayPal to capture the authorization. Authorization capture request. Yeah, it looks as though the new way doesn't have that flexibility that the legacy API has that ability. See, what is up? I wonder what up means. See, capturing authorized payments. Prefer minimal authorization. Oh, bare access token or basic. That's cool. Content type, authorization ID, invoice ID, note to payer, amount. Amount to capture. Capture a portion of the full authorized amount, specify amount. If the amount is not specified, the full amount is captured. Okay. So request body can have a note to payer. Oh, interesting. So you can capture multiple times. That's useful. Oh, and hold on just a second. Be right back. Oh, so he's here for the drive. He's in the back right now. Hey, sweetie. I've got no beard anymore. No scratchies. It's in a storm. What do you want, sweetie? Tell me nicely. What do you want? Oh, that's up to mommy. Yeah. Okay.
You can get cacao if you eat lunch.
Do we want to go get something for lunch?
Well, I thought we were gonna get dinner, and I'll make a sandwich for lunch. Okay.
Okay. All right. I can.
I'll bring it back.
Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap up here in a little bit and go hang out with the fam for a little bit. Let's see. Payment instruction, additional payment instructions. That's pretty cool. I like this. I like this a lot. There we go. Okay, so that's all stuff that I don't really need. I'm going to get out of all this. I do wonder what that token is for, though. That's something I'm quite curious about. I don't need that. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. Well, I do need that, actually. Let me reopen that. Okay. Now, where was I? I think I'm going to close out most of these and go back. Capture intent examples. And then we have a refund order example. Capture ID is how we do refund. I bet you could do partial refunds too. Well, anyway, that's all cool. That's all cool. But what is the token used for? That's where I'm the most confused here. Order response. See, this is all tarded. Big if block. No. If it's not successful, boom. Get out of there. So I am interested to know. Let's do PayPal checkout API payer ID token. What does that stuff mean? Maybe that's for the front end. Maybe that's if you're using the JavaScript side and you're not using your basic authorization or bearer authorization. So this is what I want. Let's look at, I want payer ID and token. Okay. Okay. The only two pieces of information provided by PayPal, token ID. Token is part of the approval URL. Payer ID. Huh. I wonder what the payment ID is. So I don't know what payment ID is. But in case I want it, that's a good thing to know. Hmm. Oh my. All right, well, I think I need to do a little bit more here. I just need to, I guess, capture the order. So I did the capture, this. I did the create order. Person click the link. It's been authorized, so I just need to do the capture order. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up a really stupid way. Again, don't tell my friends. we're going to go ahead and do return here, and then rec.query.token, and was it rec.query.payer ID, I think is what these are. I don't know how these are useful. Not sure what these are useful for. So we get back that in the return, and then here we're just going to have to set the order ID. I'm just going to put it right here for now. See, this is one of the great and terrible things about JavaScript. When you need to hack something together real quick, you can, but it's just stuff you shouldn't do. No one should ever do this, but just for the sake of getting a demo and understanding, whoops, what it is. I don't know. It's bad stuff. Bad things. Bad things are happening. Actually, that's strange things. Okay. Token ID. Let me go back to this capture order bit. This is the whole thing, isn't it? Yeah. That's it. Okay, and then we should put something in here. What was it? Final true? Let me see. And then we'll have to do the part 2 of this. Will have to be actually trying the subscription bit. And then part 3 might be we actually put it up on the site. I don't know what we can do there. Res not right. JSON.stringify. I guess we could do res.set header. Oh. Yeah, content type JSON. Is that good enough? Okay. I'm going to go back into the README real quick, though, because I want to see what some of the optional bits are for the capture. So we get a note to payer as thanks. Who goes there? Oh, thank you. All right, I'll come out in just a minute, actually. Well, minute being. Okay. I think note to payer cannot have an exclamation mark in it. 0 through 9, A through Z, A through Z. It doesn't look to be a note. It looks to be an ID. Sorry, I'm looking on the other screen at the documentation. Let me bring that back over here. So we can all learn and benefit together. Here we are. See, it says, oh, that's a lie. See, note to payer. It's the blah, 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 blah. Note to payer. That is not what it says here. Right here, it gives this pattern, which would not be a note. See? That doesn't allow for special symbols. But all of the examples they give do have special symbols, such as spaces and commas and periods. Okay. All right, that's good enough. The stutter's so bad. All right, PP client. Kind of want to just look at the curl and re-implement this without all the hoopla, because it's probably very, 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 very simple in terms of it's either JSON or it's key value pairs. It must be JSON because it's nested layers. And then it's authorization basic and some such. So I actually do applaud them for building their own request library because it's better than using a crappy request library. But seems to add unnecessary ceremony. Whatever, it's cool. Okay. So it's going to come back to the return and everything's going to go swimmingly. And if not, then Don't you love it when I don't finish my sentences? And now I don't even remember what the sentence was that I didn't finish. But here we are. So we're going to try to do this execute. And then we'll capture and yada, 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 yada. Okay. I think this will work now. But what I'd want to know is if it would really, really work. Because I don't have any items set up. I don't have any product categories, yada, yada. So I'd actually prefer it if it would send an error if it requires those. If they're not necessary, then great. Okay, we're going to go localhost 3080. And here we are. I can go approve the charge. Yep, this is the right one for me right now. There's John. Oh, cool. So I provided a shipping address, but we can use whatever they give me. That's great. And then here's the token. That's odd. Oh, I guess it's not odd at all, actually. So what's a... Oh, you know what? Duh. I don't need to... All I gotta do is open up the console here. And then do var x equals json.stringify x null 2. Oh, and I need to wrap that in a console.log. Console.log. There we go. Okay. Let's see what we get. All right, completed. Do we have a payment ID? This right here, this result? Okay. Purchase units. I wonder why there's multiple of those. Reference ID is whatever I want it to be. We got the total amount. Oh, cool. We got the breakdown. Be nice if we could get that estimate ahead of time, but whatever. All right, custom ID. Cut. Okay, I thought originally I read that as customer ID. So this must be the order ID. So we got the breakdown, items, description, SKU. I'm going to give this a bogus number just to see if this will fail. Okay, and apparently this shipping, I didn't notice this show up anywhere, but this is arbitrary, apparently, or at least I didn't get an error about it. And then the address here is arbitrary. Get from file, so this is suggested default when get from file, required when the other thing. Okay, physical goods category. I would like to know how to change physical goods category. Let me go back over, was it here? Okay. So I got to start thinking about how this is going to be modeled in the database too. Because I don't want to just support PayPal, but I do want to support PayPal. So I'll probably make a quote-unquote polymorphic table where there's an ID and then there's a provider type. Or maybe I could make separate tables, PayPal orders, Amazon orders. I think things will be similar enough that I won't need to do that. Okay. Well, I think I can call this a success. I want to run through this one more time. All right, I'm going to go approve. So how do I cancel? Looks like it went okay. But I don't have those items in my inventory. Well, I guess I'll just have to do a test payment and set it to a couple of pennies and then do the refund or something and see if it'll work without the Sandbox environment. Anyway, payment processing with PayPal, part 1, donezo. Thanks for joining in. Hope that you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. If you like what you like, you get more of what you like. And if you do subscribe, hit the bell thing and the personalized recommendations. That's the one. Anyway, thanks for joining in. Thanks, Matthias, for commenting. And yeah, everybody have a good day. Later. Adios.